The House will now consider the petition signed by 10,000 or more persons listed on the business paper. Before calling the member for Sydney, I wish to welcome the members of the gallery and members of the public here today. It is a relatively new provision in the Legislative Assembly to discuss the subject of a petition of 10,000 or more signatures. It is an opportunity for members of the public to come to Parliament. I know you have a strong interest in the subject matter. I am aware that there are some strongly held opposing views today on this matter. So one tenet of the parliamentary debate is to allow those opposing views to be freely expressed without interference. I therefore ask that those in the gallery refrain from clapping or distracting debate in any way, including verbally or visually. Sir, the vest there, if I can ask you not to put that on, just as I was saying, verbally or visually. Thank you. If you could just take your seat again, appreciate it. Should there be any disruption to the orderly proceedings of the House from members of the public, please understand I will have no hesitation in us suspending the sitting and clearing everyone from the galleries or asking those people to be removed. So thank you for your understanding on that. In saying that, I call the member for Sydney.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would also like to welcome everyone to the gallery to see the People's Parliament and democracy in action. This petition was signed by nearly 12,000 New South Wales residents calling on the government to overturn legislation for recreational hunting in national parks. It represents the success of one of the strongest community campaigns in recent years. The petition was created by the National Parks Association of New South Wales and its aims are supported by the major environmental groups and animal protection groups. I would like to especially highlight the work of Kevin Evans and Justin McKee, who are here in the gallery today, and also the Environment Minister's staff for the work that they have done. There is widespread condemnation of recreational hunting in national parks. National parks are set aside for the long-term protection of our diminishing biodiversity. They provide peace, quiet, fresh air, visual beauty, and the opportunity to learn about native flora and fauna. People of all ages, including families and visitors from across the country and the globe, come to enjoy the unique national parks that New South Wales has to offer, which are seen as safe places. It is mind-boggling that the government ever entertained the idea of allowing recreational hunters to bring guns, bows and arrows and other black powder weapons into natural escape havens to kill animals and on their own terms. There is no question that this activity placed visitors and staff at risk of harm. Internal government reports rate the threat of death or injury as high and confrontation incidents as high to medium. Sufficient supervision of thousands of hunters roaming about large spaces of land was initially proposed will never be possible. Hunters' aim is not biodiversity protection. It is not to protect the peaceful enjoyment of national parks, but it is to ensure the long-term sustainability of hunting. Recreational hunters enjoy killing animals and consider it a sport. There are known cases of recreational hunters releasing introduced species into the wild to maintain game population for more hunting. There is no evidence that recreational hunting is an effective way to manage introduced species. Recreational hunting is ad hoc and doesn't involve the extensive considerations of proper scientific introduced species management plans. Eradication of populations across a widespread area is not possible through uncontrolled, unplanned, random killing. Internal government reports reveal that amateur hunting in national parks would put native animals at risk of being maimed or accidentally killed. There are already countless known cases of this happening in state forests. I welcome the government's recent changes to limit the program to a 3-year trial in 12 national parks, within which all pest control programs, including hunting, will be controlled, managed and under terms set by national parks and wildlife services. Recreational hunters should not protest. They will be able to apply to join wildlife service professionals on dedicated hunting operations. We now need a review of the Game Control Act to reflect the newly imposed restrictions so they remain in the future and also apply to state forest. Concern remains over the way target animals are treated in pest control programs. Introduced species don't feel less pain because they have been labelled pests. Hunters don't always kill with a single shot. Some animals escape and suffer a slow and painful death. Others are shot repeatedly. Hunting is cruel. But I am also concerned about other forms of pest control, including the use of pendone and 1080, which cause immense suffering to animals. The funds the government will invest in hunting programs in our national parks should be used to develop a compassionate solution to introduced species. Investment should be directed to developing humane pest management programs, such as fertility control and trap and desex and return programs. These strategies work and are humane and should be implemented. We need to base pest management decisions on peer-reviewed, measurable science. There is no point engaging programs that have no effect on feral animal population over time. Members who support recreational hunting often cite numbers of feral pigs, foxes, deer and goats destroyed by hunters, but such figures are meaningless. There is no difference in overall population over time. The program is merely cruelty and cannot be justified. The changes must ensure that amateur hunters and anyone under 18 cannot seek permission to hunt on public lands anywhere. With the Game Council now finally dissolved, funds previously dedicated to its involvement with controlling introduced species should be transferred to the National Parks and Wildlife Services to manage national parks and wilderness areas for the wider protection of native flora and fauna. Funds allocated to New South Wales Police to crack down on illegal hunting activity should remain intact and be included in future budgets. Prior to the last election, the government promised not to support recreational hunting in national parks, and this cruel, ineffective and unpopular policy should never be proposed again. I congratulate all involved for your strong and concerted campaign that led to the government to change and improve its approach to feral animal control.